Toyota Tacoma deals are few and far between, but you can still get a good deal. Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to RobMotive. So that's right. Deals on Toyota Tacomas, it seems right now, are few and far between, but you still can get a good deal. You know, I liken this to my recent experience at Toyota when I bought my new Toyota Tundra. By the way, if you haven't checked out that channel, check out RobMotive FST. It's got my new Tundra on it and also information and news about the upcoming redesigned Tundra. But anyway, I recently bought that truck, and I gotta say, I was a bit concerned. You know, because of the environment that we're in right now, I got to thinking, you know, gee, is this gonna be the first time that I go out to buy a new vehicle, a new truck, and can't get a good deal? That the dealerships will not deal right now. I was pleasantly surprised. That is not true. However, it does depend on what part of the country you're in and what you're looking for. You know, I've gotten a lot of reports on the channel about people trying to buy Tacomas right now, and the dealer just will not deal. And of course, we've all heard the horror stories about the market adjustments that some dealerships are adding to the prices of Tacomas. You know, I've heard as much, and this is absolutely absurd, but I've heard as much as $10,000. A $10,000 market adjustment for a Toyota Tacoma, and that is absolutely insane. Now, the problem with it is that when you go to sell that Tacoma down the road, eventually, unless you're going to keep it forever, you're never going to get that $10,000 back. I mean, you can't add your own market premium to it when you go to sell it, right? Unless you get lucky. Who knows? Maybe something happens with the new generation Tacomas down the road and yours becomes worth a lot of money, but that's a gamble that's probably not wise to take. So back to my experience, I did everything online, and that's how I do everything right now and have for the last 3 or 4 years. You know, you find the truck that you want, make sure that it is in stock and available at the dealership that you're dealing with. I've also heard a lot of horror stories about people thinking that the truck that they were buying was available. They drive some distance to get it, show up at the dealership, and it either was never there to begin with, or it was sold before they got there. And that's another point. Make sure that if you do find one, that you put a deposit down, mark it, put your name on it, so that they hold it for you for some period of time, guaranteed. Get that in an email until you can show up to pick it up. Now, you do have to be reasonable, of course. I mean, they're not going to hold that truck for 6 months while, you know, waiting for you to pick it up. So I went back to my story. I went online, I found the truck that I wanted, and I dealt with everything online. Emails. And the other good thing about doing that is you have written record of what you're doing, right? It's not just a conversation on the phone. I would never deal with any dealership over the phone. Make sure that you get it in writing in the form of an email. So that's how I handled my transaction or my hunt for the Tundra when I bought it. I did it online, went back and forth with the pricing and all that stuff, and in the end came to the agreement and did the deal. Now for me, that went really smoothly. You know, I have a great dealership and a great sales guy I work with down here, so it went really smoothly for me. And I will caution you, if you find a dealership that is not willing to do that, especially in this environment, I think given what's going on in the world, it's a given that nobody or a lot of people really don't want to go into the dealership, right? And if you're familiar with the vehicle, you really don't need to. I mean, if you're looking at a Tacoma and you've had, I don't know, a Tacoma over the last several years, then you pretty much know what it's going to be, minus a few added bells and whistles and things. So it's not like there's going to be any big revelation by going in and looking at one. You already know. But if you find a dealership that is not willing to deal with you over the internet, via email, chat, whatever it is, then you should run. Because there's no dealership out there that doesn't have the capability to do it. I think the days of having the customer come in and chaining them to a desk while you beat on them for pricing are over. You know, the theory is, used to be anyway, that they would try to keep you at the dealership as long as possible, because apparently research shows that if you spend at least 3 hours at the dealership, you are more likely to buy, because you're now invested in the process, right? You're sitting there spending all your time, or a lot of time anyway, trying to work out a deal, and you feel like you have to do something. But that, like I said, those days are gone. You don't need to do that anymore. Now, the other thing is the premiums. You know, I'll admit I paid a premium once for a vehicle, and that was for a Honda Civic Type R. They had just come out. I wanted one. I found the color I wanted, and I did pay a premium. It was $5,000, and it's one of the dumbest things that I've ever done as far as buying vehicles, I admit it. So never do that. There are tons of dealerships out there. Now, you might have to take a trip. You might have to do a little road trip. I know people that have even flown cross country to pick up the truck that they wanted. I don't think you need to do that. There are enough dealerships out there that you'll be able to find the one that you're looking for within a reasonable distance. You might have to drive a couple, 3-4 hours, whatever, but you're going to be able to find one, because in the end, you know, the dealerships are there to sell trucks. Their philosophy really hasn't changed. They've got inventory, they need to move it. Now, if they're low on inventory, it doesn't even matter, because they still are in business to sell trucks. They're not in business to have that shiny new Tacoma sit there while everybody oogles at it while it drives by. They can't feed themselves when they do that. So make no mistake, the dealerships are there to make money. They are going to deal with you. You just have to either find the right one and be firm in what you're doing. You know, the old adage, be willing to walk away, certainly applies. Never get so invested in what you want. Never fall in love so deeply with that Tacoma that you'll do anything for it. Remember, it is just a truck. There's another one out there right around the corner. Anyway, leave a comment. Let me know what your experiences has been, particularly if you've bought a Tacoma recently. I'd be curious to know. Also, real quick, if you're interested, I do have 2 additional channels. RobMotive FST, all about that 2021 Tundra and the upcoming redesigned Tundra, and RobMotive JT about my 2020 Jeep Gladiator. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.